Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Tonight we finally have our Lolith, Lady of Lament, or I guess technically she could end up being Loris, Lady of Lament's actual effects revealed. I wasn't expecting for this to come out early, but I honestly didn't look into too deeply how soon we should be expecting this card. But cool, we've got it. Let's get into this thing. Let's not waste too much time. So obviously this is Loris, Lady of Lament. She is a level 3 Dark Fiend as always. 1500 attack, 500 defense. The only thing that's really worth mentioning here is 1500 is not horrible for a level 3, but really we got the new Lady of Lament Alice very recently in the TCG, and when she is either tributed or destroyed by an opponent's card, she can actually add any fiend monster with a stat total of 2000. This card becomes a new search target for that. Cool. Now let's get into the effects. So both of these are hard once per turns each, and they can be used in the same turn. Very cool. First effect reads, you can target 3 or 6 of your normal trap cards that are banished and or in your graveyard. Place them on the bottom of the deck in any order, then draw 1 card for every 3 cards placed. Okay, we've kind of got like a Pot of Avarice kind of potential here, but you can do the lower ceiling version, not draw 2, but still draw 1 by shuffling 3 back. Pretty cool recursive / draw effect, honestly. Second effect, if another monster or monsters is tributed, or a normal trap or traps in your possession is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 normal trap in your graveyard as cost, set it to your field. Still solid. I mean, it is a trigger effect, so it's this card's not as proactive as I would like it to be, but we'll take it. I mean, what if this card said like it could tribute itself, or it could tribute 1 monster you control to target a trap in your graveyard and set it back to your field? Like, that would be pretty cool. Because it would be another, even though a slow way, if it wasn't a quick effect, it would be another way to potentially tribute your opponent's stuff, trigger your other effects by tributing your own stuff. You know, tribute an Alice to get a trap, then Alice search a Lilith, you know, and just keep steamrolling there. But that's still a decent effect. I mean, it's still going to be pretty easy to trigger, whether it's Lilith tributing something, whether it's, you know, potentially playing Ballista Squad to tribute stuff, or, you know, whatever other traps might be tributing stuff. The one downside of this effect, I would say, is that it's tribute, it's when another monster is tributed, unfortunately. So it doesn't trigger if this card is tributed, unfortunately. So like just this in Ballista Squad doesn't work. You would need this Ballista Squad and another monster to be tributing, whether it's your opponents with Lair or another monster you control. So keep that in mind, that this effect isn't quite as easy. But also this is really cool because if your opponent ever tries to use back removal, which they will, I usually play this deck as a control trap based deck, you're going to see like back row removal sided in for you. This becomes a pretty cool card to be able to protect you, or at least recur a trap when your opponent tries to remove them. It's pretty cool. But all in all, I think the effects are decent. I don't think either of the effects are garbage. I don't know if it's exactly the kind of card I was hoping for the most. And that's nothing to be mad about, right? I came into this saying best case scenario, this card would be somewhere between Alice and Lilith. And I think this is more close to between Malice and Alice. Third best Lady of Lament out of 4. You know, it's a fine card. I think to me this rings as a very clear one of in Lair builds. If you're going to play it at all, right? It's searchable off of Malice, so being able to get this later in the duel to be able to like just summon it, get yourself 3 or even 6 like traps shuffled back into the deck to reset your engine pretty much, and draw 1 or 2 cards in the process. You know, pretty cool there, and then give you the icing on the cake of potentially being able to get other traps back from grave as well. I think it's fine. So I don't know. I think I would have hoped to have a more proactive Lady of Lament, if that makes sense. Like, what if we got a tour guide-esque card, but it only summoned Lady of Laments, but it didn't negate them, right? So you'd have another card that just says summon Lilith out of the deck, and that would just be a huge consistency piece, because like literally the deck just wants to see Lilith. Once you get Lilith going, like anybody can attest. And when you're playing against Lair of Darkness, if they don't see Lilith, the deck is so much easier to handle. But if they do see Lilith, the deck can be very problematic there. But all in all, I think it's a decent card. If I'm giving Lilith a 9.5 out of 10, and I'm giving Alice a 7 out of 10, and I'm giving Malice a 2 out of 10. You'll never see me playing that card. Card is poo. I would give Loris probably a 5 out of 10. Not great, but not bad, right? It's just so follow-up-y. And I think one of the things I've been hoping for the most for Lair is just a better way to get the engine online, right? Consistency stuff. That's why I mess around with stuff like Ties of the Brethren, but I know Ties of the Brethren isn't always the most optimal thing. It definitely has its drawbacks. I'd like to see a cleaner way to be able to consistently get our engine going. And so, honestly, I'm more concerned at this point for Lair with getting the engine online as more so than I am with a card like this, which is more about follow-up in the grind. Once you've already gotten your engine going, this card's awesome to like help you run away from duels in the grind. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess other synergies that are important to notice here is Trap Trick. Trap Trick banishing a trap to then set another copy of that trap, and that copy will be activatable as well. That's a 1-card trap that gets you 3 traps either in grave or in banish, which immediately sets you up for this card, which is really nice. It means you don't always have to be activating, you know, 3 separate traps to get this card live. That's not always going to be possible. And the second effect has plenty of other synergy as well, because it's when any monster is tributed. So Lilith, Ballista Squad, you know, Arima, potentially Diablos, any of that stuff, like that's pretty good. And of course, there's also like the benefits of if any, hold on, I just had it. What was I going to say? Oh, never mind. I was going to say before that this has synergy with Alice. Alice can use her extension effect, sending a trap. But unfortunately, she actually can't. This won't trigger because it needs to be sent by an opponent's card effect. But still, pretty cool. I will take this. I think I need to put this on the back burner, right? Because I think we need to see... I don't think this is the best Ties of the Brethren target of all time or anything like that. So I think this is definitely a card to keep in mind should we maybe get the thing that I've been hoping for more than anything, which is of course a normal trap card that lets you summon or add any Lady of Lament straight from the deck. It has to be able to special summon though, because then we'd be able to summon out Lilith on the opponent's turn, and that's invaluable, absolutely. But until we get something like that, I think this card needs to just chill for right now. I think the deck's already slow enough that adding another slow piece like this isn't really helping us enough. Like, Alice is supposed to be our new good kind of like follow-up card. This girl's kind of has a similar role in a different way, I would say, but like, I would say Alice does it better overall. So that's my thoughts overall. 5 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts down below though, guys. Obviously, like, I'm just one guy. If there's anything else particular that you think is worth mentioning, or you have a disagreement on where I'm kind of ranking this card as far as the Lady of Laments go and how effective it's going to be in Lair, obviously let me know. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts there. But I'm going to get the hell out of here. This was just one card. It took me 8 minutes to review, which is crazy, but it's a Lair of Darkness card, so I had to go in depth on it. Let me know what you're thinking. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet and you want to see more Lair of Darkness stuff, more new card reviews whenever anything comes out. We should be expecting the whole Labyrinth archetype to get revealed this week. I was honestly expecting it tonight. We have not seen it, so could be tomorrow morning, could be another day this week, but I'm expecting it before the weekend, to be honest. So stay tuned for that. Really cool stuff. Power of the Elements revealed is coming. Just a ton of stuff. I'm really excited. So I'm out. Peace.